Hi, Dad. Today is the celebration of your 94 years of your incredible life. And I just thought you might want to say a couple of words about how you feel today.
Oh, I don't know how I would feel if I didn't have such loving care and companionship, especially today. I was born in 1919. That seems like ages ago, and it was ages ago.
94
But
years.
it's been a fabulous life, honestly. We started out as I was a third in a family of 5, and we worked through the Depression, and our father lost his business, he lost his home, but he made a comeback. I'm proud of him for that. He didn't just quit. And so my early life started with a lot of family hardship, and which we didn't know at the time was such a hardship. As I look back now, but it's been a wonderful life. I went to parochial school for my first 8 years, and then I went to move on to a non-parochial school, a technical high school, Baltimore Poly, which is still in existence, and it's now co-ed, and it's now mixed races too, so it's changed quite a bit, but it's still one of the top high schools in the country, devoting so much time to the technical engineering aspect. When you graduate from Poly, an engineering course, you go to sophomore year in college. You skip the whole freshman year if you take the A course. So I was very, very happy to do it. I didn't take the A course.
There's a sausage link in here.
It was just too tough for me.
Okay, so Dad, how did you get the name Joseph Cecil Murray?
Well, it was my father's choice. I was named after his brother. His brother was Joseph Cecil Murray. He lived in a farm down in southern Maryland, near Clinton, Maryland, down that way. And it's funny, I don't remember meeting him until I was probably a teenager, but I always heard about, my father spoke well of Uncle Cecil. So I didn't like my name at all, particularly when I got to high school. Nobody was named Cecil in those days, and so it didn't take long before I became known a little more for Joe, or Joseph. Not as much in high school as later. And so, anyhow, my parents were disappointed that I didn't really like my name. But, I was kind of undersized to begin with, and thin. I wasn't built big like a boy who would have been called Jimmy or Joe or something else. So I've kind of fought against that name in my early years, and I realized I was going to stay with it the rest of my life. So that's it's funny how names come. Most people don't choose their own names, and parents sometimes choose a name that maybe the child doesn't like. But anyhow, I got over that finally.
And what happened to your...
Even in later years, my father learned to call me Joe. He didn't like it, but he called me that just to satisfy me. So.
And what happened to the original Joseph Cecil, his brother?
he died on the farm down there in my early childhood. I don't really remember much about him, except I know they lived under farm circumstances.
Okay. All right, tell me about the day you met Ann Martin.
Oh,
You remember her?
I'll never forget that. I was at an ice skating rink with my best friend at that time, Lee Harrison, and he said that his girlfriend and her friend were going to be over at the ice arena called Sports Center, right near my high school. And well, enough we want to go over and watch them skate. So I didn't know how to ice skate, so I did. I went over with him, and so I watched these girls skating, and right away they looked like the two of the most attractive girls on the ice, and they were both excellent skaters. So that was the first time. I guess must have been around 1938 or 39. I can't remember.
You were about 20 years old?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so somehow it clicked, and next thing I know, they were setting up a date for us to go. And the first date we had, I'll never forget. It was a high school. It was for high school students, and it was a Greek play. And I can still remember the name of it because I couldn't understand it any. It was called Cenodoxus.
Cenodoxus.
And it was a requirement. The girls had to go for their English class, I guess, or drama class. They both went to Notre Dame Institute in Baltimore. And anyhow, it wasn't long after that I called for a date after I met her. And her father answered the phone. And I could tell by his voice that this was going to be an obstacle to overcome. And I said, "Is Ann there?"
Outside?
Yeah.
We're here.
He said, "No, she's not here."
Here or there?
And Pop said Ann wasn't there? Okay.
Tailgate table.
So,
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
No, she's not here. And down went the phone. I said, "Boy, I really struck out the first time." So, anyhow, the next time I called, somebody else says, I think Ann answered the phone for me. And I told her that. She said, "Well, my father's been getting calls from boys that he doesn't particularly like lately. And he's very strict. And so he doesn't, he has to approve of everybody." So I said, "Oh boy, I got a tough job here." So anyhow, but Mom was attractive enough and friendly enough. She was friendly, as though to say, "Don't get discouraged." And so I didn't. I called, and we finally got together. And but neither of us ever forgot their father's response. And not too long later, after I met him, he changed a lot. He was much. He just didn't like unknown boys to call, because he wanted to see what they were like before he let his daughter go out with them. So he and I really hit it off after that. That we became good friends, and that was a big help.
Wow.
So,
So you weren't one of those lounge lizards.
that was the beginning of a long romance.
Oh, yep, I'd say so.
So
Okay.
it was great, and then I met her mother, and her mother was much more open and friendly, because she knew what I'd been through with her husband. And it's funny, after I finally met him, you know, we warmed up to each other, and I knew I was making progress then. So anyhow, that was the beginning of a romance that probably will never end, whether the mom's here or not. So, she was a very accomplished dancer. She was a ballet dancer. She loved music, and I got to finally be accepted by her family, by her sister, who happened to know a girl I had dated and checked up on me. So she approved.
Oh, good. Aunt
So
Mary.
that was the beginning of a wonderful, wonderful relationship.
Yeah.
And I really turned out to really love her father too, and mother. Her mother she would always make some raisin bread, or always make some baked goods for me.
I can still remember that smell
And,
too. Cinnamon. Cooking
Wasn't long
cinnamon
she'd
rolls.
invite me to dinner. So
That's
a long
great.
time ago. That was probably, I guess it was 1938 or 9. I can't remember exactly. Right about that time.
Okay.